KCAL rocks it. It's time to talk some sports. That's the way we go to our guy, Pep. What's going on, Pep?
Hey, Patrick, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Listen, the baseball playoffs are finally set. If you're a Dodgers fan, well, you get to chill for a little bit. Just relax because you have a
Right?
first round bye during the wild card series. Patrick, the Dodgers will now face, we know this, it'll be the Padres or the Mets. And either way, the Mets got great pitching and obviously that heated rivalry with the Padres. Either way, that first round series is going to be good, but at least they got a bye with what was it, 111 wins during the regular season. Unbelievable.
Very impressive. Obviously, Aaron Judge is getting a lot of the hype hitting those home runs. But one thing that's kind of sliding under the radar is how many games these Dodgers have won. It really has been amazing. There is history going on the West Coast also, people need to realize, because that's a lot of games.
Man, that is so many games. Obviously, a franchise record for the Dodgers, which is a huge deal. And we talked about this. There was really no lull this season for the Dodgers. They were just consistent all season long, and we were, kind of concerned they'd hit the playoffs and maybe take a little bit of a dive. No, they didn't. They went into the playoffs playing great baseball.
And home field advantage, getting this bye, man, it's the key to a championship, I'm telling you.
Yep, home field advantage through the whole thing for the Dodgers. 111 wins, best in all of baseball. So, again, the Dodgers will play the winner of the Padres and Mets wild card series. The other National League series is Phillies and Cardinals. In the American League, we've got your Seattle Mariners taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. It's kind of weird to say Mariners versus Blue Jays in a playoff series.
Yeah, it is. I think it's weird to say Mariners at all. But
Yeah.
it is kind of funny. We actually, and the Blue Jays, I guess, too, but at least they've had some success. It's funny, we came into the league together, the Toronto Blue Jays and the Seattle Mariners in 1976 or 77 or whatever. And so it's kind of fitting that these two teams are going together. We have all road games for my Seattle Mariners.
Yeah.
We got to go to Toronto and win. So it's not an easy route, but trust me, I'm just happy to be here, and I shouldn't say that, but damn it, I don't care.
Yeah, at this point, you can't be picky, right? Just get into the
No.
playoffs and enjoy. And you're right, this wild card round, it's a best of three series, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it's in one city. So, one city gets to host all three games. So, in case for the Padres and Mets, it's in New York. Like in your series, it's in Toronto. So it's kind of a different playoff wild card series for baseball this season.
And the three-game series, I mean, it gets down to business quick. Depending on what happens in that first game, I mean, ultimate pressure is automatically applied. I think it makes it exciting.
Hey, too, I want to bring up your Mariners because, obviously that playoff drought that went back to 2001, now the longest streak in professional North American sports is my Sacramento Kings at 16 seasons. But I want to circle back to baseball, Patrick, because now, since the Phillies made the playoffs as well, they had a little bit of a mild drought, but the longest playoff drought now in baseball is the Angels. It's been 8 seasons. I think the Tigers are also 8, but the Angels are now owning the longest playoff drought in baseball.
I mean, the thing that sticks out to me is how long ago the World Series victory was for the Angels. I mean, now they've become the longest playoff drought. I mean, basically, Mike Trout's entire career, and it just makes that World Series seem like decades ago.
Oh, it seems like
I guess it
forever
was.
ago. Yeah, and hopefully they turn around. We know Shohei Ohtani's coming back at least for one more year. They signed him for that, one $30 million contract, 1 year, $30 million contract. Mike Trout is still in his prime. He proved it this year. If he was healthy all year and Aaron Judge didn't go off the rails and have this incredible historic year, Mike Trout's name would be tossed in the MVP voting. So the Angels might have had the two leading MVP voters this season. So they're still in their prime. Ohtani's coming back at least for one more season. We'll see. And this is their time. This is it. If the Angels are going to do it, this is it, man.
This is it, dude.
We will find out. All right, so baseball playoffs starting tomorrow on Friday in that wild card series. Of course, another big weekend of NFL football. I find the Cowboys versus Rams game kind of intriguing, maybe more so for the Cowboys because Cooper Rush, the backup quarterback, making it happen. It doesn't have to be pretty, Patrick, but he's making it happen, and they're getting wins, and that way they're kind of pushing off Dak Prescott a little bit more to let his thumb heal up.
I think it goes to show you that, yes, it's great to have flashy plays and be able to do some special things, but sometimes too much is too much, man. I think even, I know I'm bringing up Seattle again, but Geno Smith is kind of showing the same thing. Like, hey, be a little more efficient than doing that backyard crap all the time. We're finding out our offense is actually functioning better with Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? I think a similar thing is happening in Dallas. It's putting a lot of pressure on Dak because Cooper's being efficient, dude.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily all the plays you make. It's all the mistakes you don't make.
Yeah.
And he's not making a lot of mistakes, and look at them.
That's a great point, Patrick. And, when Dak Prescott is fully healthy, he will be the starting quarterback, right? He will be QB1 in Dallas. But when he comes back, the offense might look a little bit different just because of the success they're having right now with Cooper Rush. They're not going to put everything on Dak's shoulder. They're going to be like shoulders. They're going to be like, hey, let's keep it simple. We don't have to hit a home run on every single play. Let's dink and dunk. I think you're right on this, Patrick. I think maybe if they keep it efficient, we'll call it efficient, they'll do it even with Dak.
Yeah, game manager has become a negative term. You need to manage the game somewhat.
Exactly. Would you rather be 3-1 and manage games, or would you rather be 0-4 and be like, oh, well, we're trying to let it all hang out and having this explosive offense? I just want to win games. Just win games.
He's not throwing pick sixes, and that makes a difference.
It's huge. Yeah, put him in good spots. It doesn't have to be a home run in every single play. Take what the defense is going to give you, and all those different football cliches you can come up with right now. But yeah, Cowboys are winning. The Rams, obviously we saw them on Monday Night Football, did not look good against the 49ers. So I think this is a very intriguing game. I think, the Rams are the home team in this one, but I think the Cowboys actually have a chance against this Rams team who's offensively, which is weird to say, but offensively they're sputtering right now. And we haven't said that much about the Rams because the offense has been their calling card. They've been so good at, putting that ball in the end zone.
I think the Rams, and I said this last week, they're due to play good. I do think they're going to play a little bit better because that San Francisco defense is best in the league. And people haven't fully recognized that yet. They're very tough, and they stuffed the Rams, just like they said they were going to. Yeah. They're old school football in San Francisco, and they're kind of doing that steamrolling thing right now.
No, that's a fair point, and that's not because I'm a 49ers fan, but that defense is on another level. So, that defense for Dallas is not going to be that same defense that the 49ers, will throw out there on the field. So the Rams should have an easier time, getting to the end zone. So we'll find out this weekend. I'm very intrigued by that matchup. And, of course, Raiders and Chiefs on Monday Night Football. The Chiefs looked so good this past weekend against Tampa Bay. I don't know. It's hard to figure out Kansas City, but it sure feels like they're the Chiefs again, like with that offense where they just move the ball at will.
Yeah, I mean, if he can kind of do his thing, Patrick Mahomes, they kind of ride or die on him, and he's so talented. Even when he's doing crappy, he can still win.
Yeah, they squashed all those rumors that Kansas City wasn't, that same offense that we've been accustomed to the last several years with Patrick Mahomes quarterbacking them. Right. But they look fantastic, and I think Kansas City now is all of a sudden one of the favorites in the AFC again with Buffalo. I don't know, maybe Baltimore. I don't want to leave anybody out, but those are some of the teams now in the AFC.
Yeah.
All right, Patrick, finally, let's talk about a little bit of good old American college foosball. And your Wazoo Cougars on upset alert trying to knock off the 6th-ranked team in the entire country. That would be your 5-0 USC Trojans. But Washington State is tough. I know it's going to be at the Coliseum, so they're making the trip down the coast. But Wazoo's been tough. They have that big road win at Wisconsin. They could do it.
Right. What an opportunity. Obviously, you know what I mean? When you play a good team, there's a chance you could get run out of the stadium, but also it's an opportunity. So, I mean, dare we say this could be a classic Pac-12 battle coming up? I mean, obviously not classic, but I can see this being a decent game.
I think it could too. And you brought up that Washington State defense. They're going to have their hands full, obviously, with USC. But USC, again, if they're going to be in the national championship picture, these are the games they should win. They're on their home field. They're 5-0. Washington State is good. Not great, but they're good. But these are still, if you're a USC fan and you want to be in that national title conversation, this is a game you should win.
You're right about that. Wazoo is much better this year, but there is that stigma. You lost to Washington State. Yeah. I mean, they can't have that. Even I know that. Yeah. right?
Yeah, no, you're right. No, you're exactly right, because Washington State is not exactly a household college football powerhouse. But
No, it's not.
the other game in LA, UCLA, who's 18 in the country and also 5-0, they're playing Utah. And that might be the biggest game on the schedule for UCLA, at least at this point. But it's definitely maybe the biggest game this season because everyone picked Utah to win the Pac-12. So if UCLA is going to throw their hat into this national title conversation, or at least in the Pac-12 title race, this is a game that they would like to have against Utah.
Absolutely, man. What a weekend it will be. Pat, make sure you check in on Monday because we have to go over this stuff and get people all set up for that big Monday Night Football game. Tell them how to get your stuff.
Hey, get my stuff on Inland Sports, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We got the Inland Sports YouTube channel. I know you're hanging out on YouTube, so go check it out. That's Inland Sports.
Thanks, Pat.